Hi, my name is Rhett, and this is Farland, and you're watching Outside the Auditorium. Hello.
Hey, Rhett.
Farland, how are you?
I'm doing great. I have a question for you, though, as we get started.
That's not how this works.
Oh, but it's a simple question.
Okay, go ahead.
Outside the Auditorium, unique name. How'd you come up with that?
Because it kind of was catchy. This was originally going to be outside the church, and it just didn't come off the tongue as well.
And we're outside the auditorium.
Yeah, technically. Although we do have someone who points out this should be right outside the auditorium doors, to which I argue you can't get this lighting right there, so it's gonna be here.
There you go.
So Farland, tell us, where are you from?
I was originally born in Austin, Texas. Lived in Austin till I was 4, and then moved to the Mid-Cities area, so Hurst, and lived there until I graduated high school.
Where'd you go to high school?
Which time? My freshman year. See, I got you on that.
You did get me.
My freshman year, I was at Fort Worth Christian, which is kind of bad now because both of my boys, well, one graduated from Dallas Christian, the other one will graduate from Dallas Christian. Bitter rivalries. It's kind of painful. But went to Fort Worth Christian my freshman year, then I actually graduated from LD Bell. The Blue Raiders.
From what?
LD Bell. LD Bell High School.
Sounds like you're trying to say something but have pudding on your tongue.
Yeah, no, not really, but...
Is it letters?
Yes. It's actually Lawrence Dale Bell.
That's on me.
Yeah.
I thought it was like ELLD. I was like, that's a weird...
Yep, no.
LD, that makes a lot
Bell.
more sense. Now it's time to get into some hard-hitting journalistic investigation.
Okay.
I don't think those words went together, but that's all right. What 2 items would you take with you if you were shipwrecked on a deserted island? However, all of your food and water needs are taken care of.
How big is the island? Because I might want my bike.
40 acres.
40 acres. Okay, so I would probably want my bike because I like to bike ride. And probably, let me go back here, my iPad, as long as I have wireless on this deserted island, so I can download books, music, movies. It would just give me a lot of flexibility.
You're not wrong. That's a good option. Because I think you get tired of your phone, but your iPad's just versatile enough and just different enough. Yeah, I can see that. What's your favorite song of all time? This has been a tricky question because people have current favorite songs, but I want to know of your 35 years of being alive, what's your favorite song is?
You're trying to score points, aren't you?
I am.
35 plus. So here's kind of the weird thing. I'm not a big music person, but yet music is very meaningful to me. So I wasn't a big song person. So growing up, I was into 80s rock because I was in high school in the 80s. So I was a big Van Halen, Journey, Boston. I liked all their music, but I was not this one, I have favorite songs from all of my groups. Now, if we're gonna take a little weird turn here,
I hope we do.
a little bizarre.
That's what I'm planning on.
So music from a spiritual sense is very meaningful to me. So I've been planning my funeral for a long time.
Oh, this did take a bizarre turn.
Okay, so it's weird, but I actually told Julie, I said, I'm going to have songs I want at my funeral, and if you don't do it the way that I want you to do it, I will haunt you if I die first. So I have a list of songs for my funeral, and it changes because music and taste change, right?
Right.
But 2 songs that I think they've been on there a while that I don't think are going away. One's been on there the longest, and it is the song "It Is Well With My Soul." So just from a pure perspective, that song has meant a lot to me for a really, really long time. And then the other one is more current, and actually my friend Jim mentioned this song last week, and it's I Can Only Imagine. We played that song, had it at my mom's funeral. It just envisioning what life is like and the life that is so much better and yet to come. I just like that song. And I want people, when I am gone, to be thankful for their chance to have lived life with me in some way, but realize I'm in a better place. So
Really
that would
good
be
answer.
it. How's that?
I thought when you were going the funeral route, thought we were about to get real weird. But
Yep.
that was a really good answer. This is a really weird question. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck. Okay, I'm going to go easy on this. How's that? There is strength in numbers.
Yeah,
Right?
For real.
David had 1 10-foot giant he had to face, not 10 1-foot giants. So
A 1-foot giant?
Well, okay, yeah, that kind of broke down, and I saw that coming. Kind of like how jumbo shrimp breaks down. You get
Yeah.
it? Yeah, exactly.
I've never once thought of that before.
Yeah, so
I feel like that's probably a common thing people think about. I've never.
oxymoron, a jumbo shrimp. So you know, yeah. So a 1-foot giant's kind of weird, but I think if I could be equipped to battle, I would rather fight 1 horse-sized duck because it's mono-y ducko, right? And one-on-one, 10 of the other or 100 of the other would have strength in numbers. They could attack from multiple directions.
My only cause is, how do horses and ducks attack? Ducks attack with their beak. Horses will buck, and if they get lucky, they land the shot.
Right. So I would rather.
Would you rather have bruised ankles or a duck eat you alive?
But here's the problem. I can avoid the bill, right? Because it
Whatever,
is
it's gonna be like this big.
it's a horse-sized duck, though. It still only has 2 little feet.
You can outrun that.
There
Yeah.
you go.
But it can still fly, which is a terrifying thing to think about.
But I will have the right equipment to face that duck.
Do I want to know what?
It's a big shotgun.
That'd probably do it. What are some of your interests?
Okay, I already told you I'd take a bike. So I used to ride frequently, and it's kind of gone up and down, kind of like hills. Did you pick up that?
I did.
There you go. But with the pandemic this year, oops, I lost my microphone.
That's all right. We just put that right back on.
With the pandemic this year, I started riding again, actually got a new bike, and I'm coming up on about 1,000 miles for the year. I love riding. It's peaceful to me. I enjoy going out on my bike. So that is one thing I enjoy. I actually enjoy hunting as well. I like being outside. And then probably where I spend a lot of time outside of pandemic years, both of my boys, Hayden and Blaze both, are big baseball players. So we typically spend a lot of time at a baseball field. So that's kind of what I'd like to do.
Yeah, that's good. What do you think about when you're in the car alone?
What time of year?
July 23rd.
Oh, July 23rd. That's a good date. That's summertime. So typically, if I am in the car in July, I'm thinking of one of 2 things. Baseball, which I just, we're a baseball family. I also, if it's pre-cruise or post-cruise, because we
you're a big
kinda,
cruise family.
We have become a big cruise family as well, like the water, like the boats. But I'm a reflective type of person. So what's been going on, what's coming up. I actually will spend a lot of time in the car, especially just running around from here and there with no music, nothing to distract me. I like the silence of the car.
Here's what's weird for me. When I'm in the car and I'm alone, I've never, right here, I've never gotten in a wreck, never gotten a ticket. I'm a very safe driver. Most of the time I forget what has happened since the time I left my house to the time I got to my location.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's dangerous.
Well, I'm just so focused on what's happening right then, I don't remember what, it is dangerous.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But, so I think of anything because it's just blank. So as we kind of switch up a little bit.
Okay.
What location or place gives you peace?
Land or water?
Anywhere.
Okay, there's two. I am a mountains man over a beach guy. Okay, so if you say we can go to the mountains or we can go to the coast, I will choose the mountains. Now, that being said, the place where I find the most peace is when we go on a cruise, we will usually get a balcony room. And I will sit on that balcony for hours, reading, listening to music, just watching the ocean. And when you're out in the middle of the Gulf, it's just water. I mean, there's birds every once in a while, some sea life, Gulf life, but it's just water. And that is one of the most peaceful places that I like to be.
And this next question in a spiritual and emotional meaning, how do you rest?
I am not a good stop person. So that's out of all the questions you've asked, other than maybe the duck and horse thing, this is the hard one. I don't rest well. But from a peace, finding peace and just taking a deep breath, that's what I've done on my bike. So the last 6, 7, 8, 9 months, I find it on the road, or actually on the trail, on my bike. And then also, like I said, we missed our cruise this year because that is an intentional, every day I will spend time on the cruise, unplugged on that balcony. That's where I find rest and kind of rejuvenation. I also, and I'm not as good at this as I would like to be, but I have done a better job of meditation and reflection. So I will shut the door in my office, turn on usually some soft ambient music, and I'll sit in not my desk chair, but I have kind of a rocking, cushy, comfy chair in my office, and I'll spend 10 to 15 minutes just breathing and trying to, allow God to speak, or just sit there in His presence.
This is a question that I've asked each week, and it comes from the basis of this in ministry. This is the question I have been asked the most.
Okay.
A lot of students go through ebbs and flows of how close they feel, and we understand that God's always present, but how close they feel and how disconnected they feel from God. I think every person goes through this, no matter what you do or who you are in life.
That's right.
And those moments where you're low, how do you reconnect with God?
So this is where, when I said earlier, I'm not a big music person. Spiritually, I like music. I find reconnection with God, especially in times of dry seasons of my life. Here we go again. Okay. It's hard to balance holding your water cup and keeping your microphone clipped.
That's all right.
But music is one way. I have playlists on my phone of encouraging music that when I'm having, whether it's a day or a week or a season of feeling disconnected, I have songs that help me remember who I am, and I will listen to that music.
I love what you said there. Part of reconnecting to God is remembering who you are. Yep. And so I really like that right there. And so I'm going to leave this last question. I'm going to let you take this whatever way you want. What does a relationship with God mean to you?
Jesus in John 10, I think it's about verse 10, says, I have come so that you may have life and have it to the full, or have it abundantly. I think God desires that we live abundant life. Not abundant based on how our world might define abundance, but abundant life based on how God defines abundance. A life that's that's filled with peace, that's filled with joy, that helps us remember how grateful we should be, and in that gratefulness, living lives of compassion and speaking words of hope to people. And it's in that relationship with God where I've discovered those things. And it's kind of like I said earlier, because it's in that process of remembering the life that God wants us to have that it helps me remember who He's created me to be. And so, having life, but also Jesus came to set us free. We don't, we all struggle in certain areas of our life, and that doesn't change either. But Jesus came to set us free, to give us freedom. We're not held in bondage anymore. And remembering that, coupled with the life we've been called to live, I find peace and joy in that, and find purpose in what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's kind of what relationship with God gives to me, is a sense of purpose.
Well, I love that answer. So Farland, we thank you for coming on with us today. Thank you for speaking wisdom to me and the people who are going to watch this. Hopefully we'll get to see you soon. But until then, this has been Outside the Auditorium.